Hey guys, Jeremy. It's Saturday. Don't know how much we'll get done today. Just gonna try to button up some loose ends over here. All this little tedious stuff, you know. Uh, just see where we get with it. Might be a short video, might be a long one. I don't know. So far this morning, I'll show you what I did. Hey guys, I've put some masking tape around the door jamb. Shot a little primer on there. I'm getting ready to finish blocking out the other side of the dash and get it close enough I can get the first coat of primer on it. Then we'll do a guide coat. I'm going to start grinding and wire wheeling over on the other side, see how big of patches I need there. Maybe do a little welding today. But yeah, we're just going to try to take care of some loose ends and try to get that side caught up to this side a little closer anyway. So let's get started here, guys. All right, I've sanded that out and I've got primer clear across now. Waiting on that to dry. I want to get some fiberglass around these welds down below this bottom hinge on that new piece, and then right down in here along that seam where that rocker and B-pillar come together. And then down below this top hinge, I'm gonna have to weld in some patches clear down, but I think I want the door off, and I think I'm gonna have to heat the pins to get them out, and I'm out of acetylene and a torch. So that's probably not a good project to try to do today. However, above this top door hinge and then on around the door jamb, I thought maybe I could get that ready. And I've got a few pinholes up in here, right there. I guess that's all of them. Just these right here. And I don't think there's any more. No. But I want to get a little fiberglass on those, just right here. And then I can finish smoothing this out with the Bondo. I ought to be able to get the primer clear down, you know, 10 hairs somewhere, because that'll just give me the bottom left to work on. I'll have the top ready. So for when I get the door off, a lot of that'll be done then. I want to apply that fiberglass pretty thin, so I poured a little resin on top of it. I'm going to mix it up now with the hardener, make it a little easier to work with. I get my rubber gloves on here. Just wanted to get some fiberglass in here because I know I'm going to be putting Bondo over these welds, and I don't want it to ever bleed back through, you know. You know, I feel pretty good about that, I think. I think now I'm gonna start up the grinder and start cleaning up the edge of this floor over here on the other side and see what I got for rust over there. See what's gotta happen there. Yeah, I got more to do here, guys, but that floor is pretty good. I got a pinhole there. I got a little patch to do back in here. The The foot on the B-pillar on this side is fine. I don't really see any rust on it. All of this is looking good. What I'm seeing right now, I got just a little bit right here, maybe a pinhole there, this right here, this right here. So I think this side's just going to end up being welding some holes shut, maybe a small patch here and there, but I think a few of these holes I can just weld shut. So not too much work to do there. We're gonna keep cleaning here and see what the rest of this rocker panel looks like. I'm thinking it's pretty good. If it is, I'm just gonna get it spliced back in here somewhere. So get you back in here in a minute, guys. That rocker panel's cleaning up good, guys. And what's more, I can reach under here and I can feel the bottom lip. It's all there. It's not rusty at all. So we're gonna splice back into that. I might start cutting and fitting a piece now. And then I'll wait till I get the door off to put it on. But yeah, let's do that. There she's on there. I think I'm gonna mark it here, cut out some more of the old one. And then when I finish that inner structure up there, I might have to trim back the back of that so it still fits, but for right now, I'm just gonna fit it right there. So, I'm just gonna trace this. That should be our last bit of rusty rocker panel. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little patch of floor in right here. You could use it. I've cut out 2 floor patches to put in, one right here, one right back there. I'm gonna get that cleaned up. Only other rust hole I see is this little bitty one right here. I think I can weld shut. And then, yeah, start getting this ready to go back together, guys. I got a guide coat sprayed across the dash here. I'm gonna start sanding on that. That's really what I'm more interested in doing today, is trying to get all this ready for paint. That welding, I could do that right now, some of it, but I know I'm gonna have to get the door off in order to finish it, and without having any acetylene here for the torch to heat up them pins today, I'd really just soon get the dash done. So I'm gonna work on this guide coat for a while and just see where we end up with it. Hey guys, I've been working away over here on this guide coat. It's all blocking out pretty good, I think. I'm very happy. I had a high spot up here on this weld. You can see where it's bare metal showing. And I thought I might have to do something more with that, but I got all the guide coat off and I'm feathered out on both sides. You might see a little something there in the paint, but I don't think so. If so, not much. I don't know whether to keep doing anything with that or just call it good. The rest of it's nice. Yeah, this hasn't been a very exciting video today. It's just been kind of me jumping and skipping around, trying to take care of little things. Little things so the next video will be good. Right, guys? But I thought I'd end this by, I got the glove box door here. I'm gonna spray some primer on this. I got some black contrasting color. And I'm gonna kind of demonstrate how this guide coat works. I mean, a lot of you guys watching already know this, but for those of you that don't, got gray primer on this, black primer in here. I'm just gonna dust a real thin coat over this. Just kind of get it dusted up. We'll let that dry for a minute. Be a good place to demonstrate. But the goal is, you got the contrasting color. You get your sandpaper on a block and you start blocking that out. Any place guide coat is left on there and will not sand off, well, you got a low spot. You got a low spot. If you can get it out before you hit bare metal, then you're good. Just putting a coat of primer on it. But you gotta get all of the guide coat off. You gotta get all the black spots off of there before you hit the bare metal, because that's as low as you can go. The bare metal is it's your bottom, you're out of material at that point. So if you're sanding away and you start seeing bare metal showing, you know you're not gonna be able to go any deeper. So then you're gonna have to add material where that guide coat's still showing. Now on the dash, I've been working on that for the past hour and a half, I suppose. I guide coated it, been taking the guide coat back off. And so far I see one problem spot that I might have to go back and address. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good. There's a few small pits. If they're a real small scratch or pit, it's gonna fill in with your next coat of primer and you're gonna be fine. You can tell the deep pits it won't. You can tell. But I'll get you back here in a minute, guys, and show you what this procedure looks like. Waiting on that primer to dry on the glove box store. I was just gonna show you right here. This is the curve where I welded a patch in for the ashtray. If you remember a video or two ago when I first put primer on this, I thought I had a high spot in there. It turned out it was a low spot on the back side of it. It was good to hear, and then I had a low spot right here. So anyway, taking this guide coat off now, you can see I've hit some Bondo there and there, but I've still got guide coat showing in places around here. that's okay because I haven't hit bare metal yet. When you're sanding this, you want to go in all directions. You want to go this way, this way. Just try to go in every which direction. And it's hard to do in these curved areas with a flat block, but just keep your pressure light and just keep going every which way you can. And some of these places you're going to have to get up there and do with your finger. And just keep your finger pressure light. Don't stay in one spot too long. See, all those places the guide coat is gone. That's perfectly smooth now. We just got to keep going until all that guide coat's gone. And then when we put the next coat of primer on, we're all good. Okay, that's metal showing there. So that's as low as we're going to go right there. This guide coat is nearly completely feathered out. It's to the point I can see hash marks going each way. So that's telling me there's no real bad low spots there. And I can probably just finish sanding that out with my finger. Okay guys, that's looking good. It's feeling good. In these edges around here where the curves are, I'm just gonna do with a piece of sandpaper by hand, get the rest of this guide coat off and just kind of feather that in. And then all this section's good. In fact, I think we're good clear up to the center of the steering column this way. Do this real lightly. Just keep going different directions with it. Very little finger pressure. You don't want to dig in. you know, you want to try to get them out without digging in. And I'm going to try something here real quick, just kind of screwing around. I've watched all the videos online about how to repair an old steering wheel. You take the two-part epoxy, you clean the cracks out, you put the epoxy in the cracks, you sand it off, you go over it with the fiberglass or the Bondo and you smooth it out. Only thing is, I don't think this steering wheel is worth saving. It's not just a few cracks, it's nothing but a crack. And this stuff is actually just breaking off. If you was gonna repair a steering wheel, you'd be better off to find a better used one maybe you could repair. But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and put some fiberglass in these cracks on a few places and just kind of see what happens. Because I was gonna buy one of the aftermarket Banjo steering wheels off of eBay, but the more I look at them, they look really cheaply made. And you can buy a real good Banjo steering wheel, but they're like $400. I'm not gonna do that. So if it comes down to trying to do something with this one or find a better used one or buy one of the cheap ones, I just soon not have a cheap looking one on there. I mean, if it looks generic, I'm not gonna like that. So I can get a white leather wrap to put around this steering wheel that you sew on. So as long as I can get this stuff so it's not gonna fall off, I could sew one of those wraps around there, and then all I'd have to fix is the two spokes in the center, which maybe would start to put it in the realm of possibilities, you know? But I just want to put a little of this on there and just kind of see how it sands off and looks and feels. And if it seems like it's something that's doable, I might do that. I don't know. But it's no good the way it is, so. If this don't work, I'm just not going to use it. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to do one of those correct restorations on it, like you see, because it's just, if I'm going to start restoring one, I'm just going to source out a better one. But just kind of see what we can do with it. Just kind of go all the way around this half of it. And I'm sure the back side back here looks just as bad, and I can't hardly see it. If I get serious about this, I might just have to take it off the car, which probably would make it easier for me to paint anyway. The dash, I mean. like the looks of the banjo steering wheels, but man, if you go to buy a original one or a good high quality aftermarket one, you're talking hundreds of dollars. And I think the ones on eBay are like 139 or something, but yeah, they just don't quite look the part. They just look a little generic, you know. I don't know. Maybe it'd be just fine, but I hate to spend good money for something that's not gonna suit me. I guess if I could pull this off, it would basically be free, you know. I'd still have to buy that sew-on leather steering wheel cover, but I could do that. These big cracks in the steering wheel where it's completely separated. My fiberglass just keeps disappearing into the abyss. So it'd probably take 2 coats on all this to get this done, but if it's going in there, at least it's going somewhere where it might do some good, right guys? And see what happens, just kind of playing around with it. I can't make it worse, you know? Okay guys, here's our glove box lid. That Bondo on there and stuff was all sanded down with 80 grip. And then a coat or two of fill primer. Now we got the guide coat. I got 120 on this. That will ensure that I get the 80 grit scratches out by the time the guide coat's off. So you hold your block, excuse me, as flat as possible. Just start going across it. Keep moving in all different directions. Try to get every surface. Okay, the guide coat's coming off. You start seeing some metal here and here. Those are my welds where I welded the patch in. So we're not going to be able to go any further there. see that black line going across there and there? That means this corner is not contoured right. So we're going to keep going this way with it so we can get the flat spots off. All right, I've been sitting on that for a while. All these spots where you still see the black, if you was to paint that right now, those are all the imperfections you would have seen. You would have seen all them little divots and low spots. And you wouldn't normally notice them, you know. But when you put the guide coat on and sand it back off, that's when you see them. Now, what you got to do is decide which ones will fill in with primer on the next coat, like these little sand scratches, and which ones won't. So like right in there, I might have to put a little glazing compound or Bondo on there. All this down here is good. I'm gonna sand just a little bit more on it. Give her a little extra bleep bleep right there on the hole, the little bad spot. But anyway, I think that we can be pretty well assured now that next time we sand that out, it's going to be pretty good. Same way with all this up here. I am sanded clear over to about the middle with this. All right, guys. I think I got the last coat of primer on this half of the dash. Up to the speaker grill, about the middle of the dash, I think is ready to be sanded out with 220, and I'm going to call it good for paint. Didn't have any real bad spots right there. The glove box, I had one low spot that was just kind of a pit. I think I got it filled with this coat of primer. We'll see, but it's looking pretty good. I just put some fiberglass on top of that steering wheel. I don't know what the hell I'm doing yet there. But yeah, anyway, floor's cleaned up a little bit more over there. We've got rocker panel cut. But I think that's going to do it for today. I'm thinking over the course of the next couple videos, we're going to have these door jambs in this dash ready for paint. Get the damn windshield back in it and some wiring started. Because I'm getting an itch to drive this car. It's supposed to be in the 50s all next week. And I was thinking, man, if I had a windshield in there, I could just pop the door back on it and take it for a little drive. You know, just like 30 miles out in the country or something. But anyway, until next time, guys. Picked up a few new subscribers last week. I think maybe 10 new people. So if you're watching this, I want to thank you for coming to our channel and joining. Got a good group here. The guys that have been with me for a long time. I appreciate all your comments. You're always kind and respectful, and I just feel like we got a really good group of people here. And yeah, I'm enjoying that. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today. And please like, comment, share, all those things. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Later.